Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, spectators from here, there, and everywhere. Welcome back to our third and final day of this 8th annual Flat Track Fever. Of course, this being a WFTDA sanctioned tournament this year. My name's Fat Boy, joined alongside here by Jazzernaut as we are getting set and ready to go. So, as we're setting up here, let's take a look. What do we got today? We're going to go with the Natural Born Thrillers versus the Crude Assassins in this first game of the morning. Of course, this is going to be a mixed gender game. We've watched a few of those over the weekend. They have all been very fun and excellent games to watch. High-paced, not a lot of stoppage, just go giver. It's going to be a very exciting day here. Of course, we have to say thank you to both Chinook City and Calgary Roller Derby co-hosting this tournament, and that is what has provided us with this WFTDA sanctioned play. Last night, we did get to watch both Calgary's A-Team and Edmonton's Evil Dead playing in a WFTDA sanctioned game. What a thrilling game that was, as Edmonton did pull away with the win. Both of those teams so close in ranking and so close in play. So as we start here, less than a minute, we'll go through a quick rundown of the rosters. Let's start with the Crude Assassins. 6, Rotten Broughton. 9-3, Doug Drillmore. 2, Ms. Construed. 5-1-4, She's Hell. 4-6-8, Baywop. 8, Let's Get Lizakill. 1-1, The Herminator. 3-3, Hot Start. 1-2, Side Dish. 2-0, Super Wrench. 7-2-5, AK Demented. 5-2, Killer Bee. And 4, Scheme Mo. And on the bench, QT Sly, who happens to be a SRDL Mindfox this weekend, playing in the WFTDA bracket, lending her services.
All right, and for the Natural Born Thrillers, we have 5-2, Dev Null. 8-4, Justice Bastercrash. 9-4, Honey Smacks. 7-1-0, Peacemaker. 7-8-9, Van Awesome. 5-0-6, Mr. Twist. 6-6-2, Stupid Sexy Flanders. 2-1-0-4, Nailbender. 7-6, Mr. Blue. 0-0, Dodger Balls. 1-0-1, Rippin' Ruby. 4-1, Subafan. 9-1-1, Wolfblade Jr. 4-0-3, Rice Ball. 1-2-1, Smarty McFly. 9-8-7, Zombie. 4-2, Sparkette. And on the bench, we have Sam Hawk and Darby Beeson.
That is on the bench. You have Samuel Hawk, and Darby Beeson. Joined alongside with Wolfblade Jr. There we go. Rice Ball lined up against Rotten Broughton. Rotten Broughton looking for the outside line. Rice Ball finds it first on the inside and takes lead.
Rice Ball's making his way through the front end of the pack. Coming up against a strong wall.
Rice Ball looking for some more room on the inside, struggling against that tripod of the Crude Assassins. Rotten Broughton stuck as well with the Natural Born Thrillers wall, but Rice Ball is able to get out and grab 4 points. Of course, that jam ref there for Squid Vicious. Squid Vicious, the jam ref right now for the Natural Born Thrillers, refed his 100th game last night, the CRD A-Team versus Evil game. This morning's game is Squid's 101st game. What a milestone to cross at a wonderful, wonderful tournament.
So on the line, we have Wolfblade Jr. going up against Let's Get Him Lizkill. Wolfblade moves to the inside, moving laterally to get around the back blockers. While Let's Get Liz Kill comes out in front with lead jam. And Wolfblade's not far behind her.
Pack moving with some speed. Down goes Let's Get Liz a Kill. After taking a bump to the inside of the track, calls it off. Still going to score her 4 points before Wolfblade's able to get in there and grab any. Here we go, Sparkette lining up now. Always able to find, always easy to find Sparkette. Usually seems to have some kind of very sparkly dressed attire there. They're definitely one you will not miss on the track. Sparkette also a lot of fun to watch. The way that they use their toe stops, absolutely incredible as they start doing it there through the outside and then into the middle of the pack. Sparkette is going to get through first for lead. Doug Drillmore struggling through there. Dev Null holding him up along with Ripon Ruby. Doug able to get through now, star in hand.
Sparkette has made his way through on the inside line and calls off the jam.
Sparkette a little bit excited as they get through there, grabbing 4 points when they did get that one called off. I didn't see any hands up. I don't think Doug Drillmore did make it in to grab any on that jam. Lined up now, Rotten Broughton for the Crude Assassins. And that is Zombrie jamming for the Natural Born Thrillers as both of them work to the pack. Zombrie is going to find some room outside and gets out ahead. Oh, look at that. Rotten Broughton taken out by 84 of the white jerseyed Thrillers. That's Justice Bastercrash, but Justice lost their footing as well, so that's not a cut track. Both players into that pack. Looks like they're going to grab 2 apiece before Zombrie calls that one down. All right, we got Rice Ball lining up once more for the Thrillers, this time going up against Side Dish. Side Dish's first jam this morning. And Side Dish actually fouled out in yesterday's game, but this weekend is his first time skating in game play. Of course, fouling out, you're only allowed 7 penalties per game before you are ejected, so I'm sure Side Dish is going to be working hard to make sure that those penalties stay in the lower numbers today as Rice Ball is able to get out in front. Side Dish working through there. Takes a nice move around 0-0 Dodger balls. Finds a space on the inside. Baywop working hard with Let's Get Lizakill to stop Rice Ball, who's going to get around the both of them, grab 4 points, and then call that one down.
So we're looking at 18 points for the Natural Born Thrillers at this point against 6 points for the Crude Assassins.
She's Hell and Wolfblade Jr. lined up now as they get ready to take this jam.
And this is Wolfblade's first game of the weekend. And Wolfblade has come out of the front of the pack, has lead jam.
That'll make Wolfblade Jr. pretty happy there as that, we did just say first game of the weekend for him and able to grab that lead jam and 4 points before calling that one off. That's definitely going to make him feel pretty good to start this morning off.
Yeah, it's a great way to start off your first jam in flat track fever.
Yeah, that it is. It's definitely going to leave a good mark. Now Sparkette lined up there, going up against Rotten Broughton once more. Both of those two had very busy weekends. Very busy weekends.
They have, and hasn't seemed to slow them down. They're both fighting their way on the outside of the pack, coming up against some heavy blocking, a little bit of hitting inside, but Sparkette manages to come through on the outside line and gets lead jam.
Rotten Broughton not going to give Sparkette a whole lot of space as she's able to get through and around.
You see our blockers forming up and shuffling around, trying to open up a space, and they do, and Sparkette flies through and gathers 4 points.
Sparkette's usually got some pretty good blockers on his team, on their team, and they were right there this time to open that wide open center line. Sparkette found it and just flew through on that toe stop run that they do and really knocked that one out of the park with a quick 4.
On the line, we have Let's Get Lizkill for the Crude Assassins and Dodger Balls for the Natural Born Thrillers. Both jammers through the pack very quickly. Riceball picks up the lead with Let's Get Lizkill right on his tail.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a foot race here. You can see Let's Get Lizkill telling her pack to pick it up. Let's get moving. As Riceball gets in there, calls it off. Able to get 2 more. That's going to hold Let's Get Lizkill to 0 on that one. Right now, consistently making a couple points at a time here. White just kind of edging it up over the last 4 jams. 4 points, 4 points, 4 points, 2 points. So slowly pulling their lead away without taking any big ones as Wolfblade Jr. is quick on the inside and gets through first. Doug Drillmore, of course, now in the foot race as they both go tight around that inside line on the first corner. Wolfblade runs right into the back of that black set of pack. 2 points for Wolfblade as he calls it off. Doug Drillmore showing 0 right now for that one.
So on the line to start off this jam, we have Van Awesome for the Natural Born Thrillers, and we have Rotten Broughton for the Crude Assassins.
That's our 5th jam in a row where the Crude Assassins have gone scoreless, and 7th jam in a row where the Natural Born Thrillers have taken lead.
Both jammers are up against the opposite team's walls. Some fast feet and some shuffle on the inside line, and Van Awesome gets through and establishing lead.
Van Awesome taking a little bit of a hit there just after that second corner to the outside, able to regain and obviously show that he's got the speed to get through as Rotten Broughton knocked to the inside. 1-on-1 with Baywop. Van Awesome's going to make it through and grab his 4 points. Rotten Broughton still working through on the inside, gets around just as Bastercrash thinks about going after her, but decides to let it go. Ooh, Sparkette back on the track from a penalty with a big collision in the pack as 4 points more added to the score for Van Awesome.
So that brings our score to 38 for the Natural Born Thrillers and 6 for the Crude Assassins with just under 20 minutes of play left in this first period. The last time the Crude Assassins have been able to establish lead was in Jam 2.
So here we go, Riceball lined up here. Side dish as well. Side dish looks fast and hard, gets through first, gets that lead. Riceball right behind. Big smile on Riceball's face as he trails behind, but now overtakes Side dish into that second corner. Little jammer on jammer here. Riceball goes for the knockout, doesn't quite get it. Side dish now, a little more prepared for it this time. Side dish rolls around, bounces off of Riceball. Falls to the ground and calls that one off in the process. Side dish going to take 1. However, Riceball is able to still capitalize and grabs 4 more points on that one. So 42 for the Thrillers, 7 for the Crude Assassins. Yeah. 6 jams since the last scored point for the Crude Assassins as they look to maybe start trying to make up for this. Wolfblade Jr. fighting alongside Doug Drillmore as we're set up in this 12th jam.
And Wolfblade Jr. had a beautiful sweeping offensive block from his blockers, and he manages to get out and establish lead jam.
Wolfblade Jr. doing very well today on jams. After 4th jam, 3 times lead, that's giving him a 75% and even able to grab 6 points on those 3 previous jams. And he's got another 4 on this 4th jam as well as Wolfblade makes their way around the track.
Wolfblade's definitely an agile skater.
Oh no, unfortunately Wolfblade, given the penalty, headed to the box. That means Doug Drillmore, who has completed their initial pass, now has the power jam. And because we have lost our lead jammer, it means we're going a full 2 minutes. Doug Drillmore is going to grab 4 points as he gets one of his blockers back to the pack now. Doug communicating with his team, looking to figure out what their strategy is. Oh, and big block by Baywop there on Smarty McFly, opening up a little bit of space. Doug able to get a little farther, but still getting caught up with those white blockers. Back on the track, Wolfblade Jr. now. Doug Drillmore still able to grab those 4 points. Wolfblade
Wolfblade is through the pack with 4 points. Didn't take him long to jump through.
Of course, you are still able to score those points if you've completed your initial after you come off the penalty. You just don't get to regain or retain that lead. And a nice little apex jump there by Wolfblade. Down goes number 121 in white. That is Smarty McFly, who's probably going to feel that one. Doug Drillmore grabs another 4. The 2-minute whistle blows as we come to a conclusion. This one's close as it looks like we've got 13 for the Thrillers here and 12 scored for the Crude Assassins.
We're going to have Justice Bastercrash take on Rotten Broughton for this one.
Justice Bastercrash, first time with the star of this game. She's held, pushing some space up at the front there, getting offensive maneuvers done. But it looks like Justice Bastercrash, first time at the start of this game, gets through and takes lead. Rotten Broughton, she's going to get through as well. Both jammers kind of taking their time, not quite putting the speed on as much as we've seen previously. As at the outset of corner number 2, the pack picks up a little bit of speed. Justice Bastercrash is going to get in there and hit it fast enough to get 1 point before calling that one down. Rotten Broughton going to have to remain scoreless on there as they start another 1 point.
Oh, this is going to be an exciting matchup. We have Sparkette going up against Side Dish.
So our jam there, number 12, between Doug Drillmore and Wolfblade Jr., that was the highest scoring jam for both teams so far. Born Thrillers with 13 points gained, and Crude Assassins with 12. As Sparkette is out in front now for the Natural Born Thrillers. Side Dish working around Dodger balls and Rice ball right now. Sparkette working hard. Schemo up at the front, holding back Sparkette, but they are going to get through and grab 4. Penalties issued. Schemo headed to the penalty box, and it looks like Side Dish is as well, so now Sparkette has the power jam. Not quite sure who Sparkette flattened there, but one of the Crude Assassins did go tumbling down in that third corner.
Sparkette signals for a little bit of offense from his team. They execute it beautifully. He goes through on the outside line and scores 4 points before they call it off.
We've seen this strategy lots over the weekend where these jammers are calling the jam off and freezing that jammer still in that penalty box. So that is going to allow the Natural Born Thrillers with the power start after Sparkette does grab those 12 points. Taking this one on the power start, that's going to be Wolfblade Jr. again. First playing game this weekend. This is a really good start, as we've seen this strategy lots as well. The absolute backwards skate by the white blockers there to get a no-pack call worked effectively. Wolfblade able to get out fast for a lead. Of course, side dish back on the track now, serving his penalty. Able to get through and complete their initial. Wolfblade struggling to get through. Looking for a little bit of offensive help by number 710 in the white. That's Peacemaker. Wolfblade with another apex jump. Grabs his 4 points, looks over at the bench, gets the call, and starts putting his hands to his hips as he calls that one to a conclusion.
Yeah, Wolfblade is a very good skater and can jump those apexes, and when the opposing blockers are forming up right on the corners, it gives him all the room he needs to jump the apex and clear the pack.
Definitely a very fun skill to watch, too, for those of us watching the game, announcing the game, watching it on our phones and tablets and TVs at home. Of course, we thank you all for tuning in to Flat Track Fever's 8th annual tournament. This year, a WFTDA sanctioned event, as we watch this mixed gender game between the Natural Born Thrillers and the Crude Assassins.
So Let's Get Lizkill comes out of the pack first and gets lead jam with Justice Bastercrash right behind.
As Let's Get Lizkill rolls into that second corner, runs into the pivot there of the white jerseyed players. Now stuck there on Nail Bender. Getting help by, I can't quite make out the numbers right here, but that 4 blocker system is making it very hard.
Justice Bastercrash is through on his second scoring pass, bringing his total to 8 points for that jam, with the Crude Assassins scoring 4, bringing the score to 80 points for the Natural Born Thrillers and 23 for the Crude Assassins, with just under 11 minutes of play left in this period.
Doug Drillmore lining up now. Rice Ball going to be his competitor as they start on that jam line. That pack starting fairly close. That's a trend I think we've seen pretty good this weekend, Jazz. This pack mostly starting on that jam line. Not a lot of spread between the jam and pivot lines.
When you have strong jammers, you do not want to give them any space to build up speed and momentum. The last thing you want is a hit from one of these guys to break up that wall that's going to hold them back.
Doug Drillmore out first with lead, as Rice Ball is going to follow quick and hard there as they start bumping and grind. Rice Ball, big smile on his face as he gives it to Doug Drillmore. Doug does return it in the third corner, though. Rice Ball is going to get through that time ahead. 4 points scored for both of them, and Doug Drillmore is going to call that one off.
That was fun.
Yeah, I like watching Rice Ball. He's always got a smile on his face. You can tell he's out there just having a good time.
He is, and he not only interacts with his own team, but he interacts with the opposite team as well. I don't know if that's part of his strategy, maybe a little bit of a distraction. I don't know.
Make you kind of think, oh, what's he going to do next? You know, he's talking to me. He's a nice guy, and wham! There's that big hit out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, I'm sure he likes them thinking that.
Sparkette lined up. Rotten Broughton as well. Rotten takes the inside, stuck against that 4-pack of white blockers. Sparkette stuck at the back. Helmet cover off, and we have our first star pass here as Sparkette has given it off to the pivot. That's number 76, Mr. Blue, now jamming.
And Rotten Broughton has completed her initial pass and picked up lead and called off that jam after scoring 2 points.
Something we've seen a fair bit this weekend, actually. Star Pass is being utilized by all levels of teams, whether it was our Alberta women's play or our WFTDA play. Even our top-level WFTDA game last night had a few Star Passes in it.
We have, let's Get Lizkill and Van Awesome jamming for their teams. And Van Awesome is out in front, picks up lead jam, while Let's Get Lizkill is brought back and recycled into the back of the pack.
Wolfblade brought Let's Get Lizkill back, and you can see how slippery that floor is as he went to try and stop for the reset and lost his footing. Zombie goes to take the hit on Let's Get Lizkill, loses her balance. Van Awesome with 4 points there. Let's Get Lizkill completed their initial. Pack rolls a little faster with the jump. Holy smokes, there's a lot of action there.
There's another apex jump right on that corner again.
That's where apex jumps happen.
Yeah. When the blockers stop on the corner, it gives the jammer a lot of room to jump the apex.
No, that was definitely well done and able to really assist in getting that quick 4 points there before calling it off. So Van Awesome is going to grab 8 more and add it to the tally. 92-29 now for the Thrillers. Rice Ball out in front as lead. Side dish now his competitor. Oh, sorry, not side dish. That is Doug Drillmore. Rice Ball going to get in there and grab those 4 points before they get that one called to conclusion. Rice Ball doing well on his jams after 6 jams, 4 leads, 67%. Rice Ball also able to rack up 26 points thus far. Rotten Broughton here now, once more wearing the star. And can't see a number, but I can see them sparkling pants there. That is definitely Sparkette lined up now for the Natural Born Thrillers. Rotten Broughton on the front, does a nice little toe stop spin around the pivot there for the Thrillers, and it gets out in front. Sparkette, helmet cover off, looking for the star pass, gives it away. That is number 84. Justice Bastercrash now with the star. Oh no! Either they fooled me or that was impressive. Okay, so not Pivot Jammer. Justice does not have the star. Sparkette maintained and retained it, sorry. That was one good fake because I was totally sold on that one as Sparkette continues to make their way through, having a little bit of trouble there. Schemo making it very difficult. Rotten Broughton rolling around for another 4. Really racking the points up. This is exactly what the Crude Assassins were looking for here as they start to close in on this lead. Sparkette is now through for their first scoring pass. Big hit there felt by Peacemaker as she goes falling to the outside in that first corner.
So we have Side Dish jamming against, who is that? Brains for the Natural Born Thrillers.
987, that is a zombie.
Oh, I was reading her shirt.
Brains
Her shirt
works
says
very
brains.
well. Okay, so a bit of a score adjustment. Natural Born Thrillers, it looks like they had 4 taken off of their last pass there. So Sparkette only scoring 4 total, so that'll bring the score 100, right on the century mark for the Thrillers. Crude Assassins with 16 on that one, giving them 45. As it is a team timeout charge to the white jerseyed, Thrillers and the black jerseyed Assassins on the track. Thus far, looking at our stats here, Natural Born Thrillers with a 67% lead rating, 14 leads to the Crude Assassins 6, 29% lead And Jazz, just how important is it to maintain that lead percentage and get that first jammer out of the pack?
It's very important. You need to maintain that control as to when you want to call off the jam. You don't want to be stuck going a 2-minute jam and having all the points scored against you.
So let's see where we end up now as Zombie works the outside, pushing hard against that tripod. Side dish busts through, takes a hit. Whoa, big hit there. Not quite sure who that was, but side dish knocked right to the outside. Both skaters regained. Oh, side dish giving a penalty. So side dish is on his way to the penalty box. Of course, we did mention side dish fouling out yesterday.
That's common in when you're new to playing the game. And like we had mentioned earlier, this is his first gameplay.
Zombie looking for a little bit of a whip there off Rip and Ruby. Smarty McFly as well as Dev Null working hard to try and open up that pack. And there we go. Zombie is going to get out in front. Only her initial pass, so 0 on that one, and calls it off. But once more we see this freezing the jammer in the penalty box. That's going to give the power start now for the Thrillers, as it is first time jammer of the game. Honey Smacks taking the line for the power start. Side dish, of course, will be jamming for Crude Assassins once he leaves the penalty box. He is standing, which means there's less than 10 seconds to be served on his penalty. 5 seconds, sorry. Thank you, Jazz. And it was definitely a quick 5 as side dish is on the track and through.
Wow, I don't think they expected to see him that fast.
No, it didn't look like anybody was prepped for his arrival, did it?
No, it didn't.
So Honey,
we have Honey Smacks. She is through the pack. She does not have lead jam though, as side dish was able to pop through first. And we have side dish trying to get through the pack, falls down and decides to call it off before Honey Smacks can come back in to score any points. And side dish manages to pull 2 points for that push through the pack. We have another fun matchup on the line. We see Rotten Broughton going up against Wolfblade Jr.
last 2 jams now, the Thrillers have been held scoreless. That may change now, though, as Wolfblade Jr. is out in front for lead. Thrillers still standing at 100, Crude Assassins 47.
Rotten Broughton still having some trouble getting through for her initial pass. Wolfblade passes on the inside line, scoring 4 points, and Rotten manages to get out for her initial pass.
That is definitely a tough set of blockers there on the white team. Mr. Blue joined by Nail Bender, Rice Ball, and Justice Bastard Crash. They are not giving Rotten Broughton any kind of leeway to get through there.
Yeah, they're not. That's a big line. They're able to basically use only 3 of their blockers for defense and send that one guy in to do some offense to help Wolfblade get through very quickly.
Breaking the 2-jam scoreless there for the Thrillers. Wolfblade able to rack up 5 points there. Rotten Broughton able to come through and grab 1 for herself, bringing the Assassins now to 48, Natural Born Thrillers to 105. Our nice and shiny Sparkette lined up now against Let's Get Lizakill. Sparkette out once more in lead. Let's Get Lizakill stuck behind number 101, Rippin' Ruby. Pack starting to spread. Looking for the no pack call, I'm expecting. Somebody bridges it, though, as they're not making the call. Sparkette with that quick toe stop run that they do so well along that outside line.
That was amazing. The smile on his face and the tiptoe and the speed was neat to watch. I love it. Oh, and it looks like we have a penalty. Let's Get Lizakill is sent to the box for a cut track, and that will leaves Sparkette with a power jam.
Sparkette able to capitalize with 4 points as let's get Lizakill head to the box. Sparkette sets up. There's the offensive pick by Ripon Ruby. Gets some help from Smarty McFly and Van Awesome. 4 more points grabbed by Sparkette on the power jam, bringing that to 12 now. We roll down into the final 50 seconds of this jam. The score clock is showing 0 for the first half. I hear hollering on the track. Sparkette gets some communication, rolls through, grabs another 4, looks at the bench. Looks like they want to do one more here. Quick move around that one. Did some interesting maneuvers. And not sure what's happening. I haven't seen any points come up on this last pass yet.
Not sure. It looked like he might have cut the track there.
Jam ref Squid Vicious very quickly heading over to the bench after that jam. Still waiting for
Oh yes, Sparkette is going to the penalty box. Looks like that penalty was for skating out of bounds.
wow.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it were going to be a skating out of bounds or a cut track. So he won't be awarded the last 4 points for that pass.
So there we go. 16 points picked up by Sparkette on that one. And that one's going to change now. So going into the second half, the Crude Assassins will have a power start. 30 seconds, no jammer, right off the hop. Natural Born Thrillers right now 121. Crude Assassins 48. A very good game so far on this first half of this first game of this third day of this 8th annual Flat Track Fever, this year a WFTDA sponsored and sanctioned event. My name, of course, Fat Boy, joined by Jazzernaut, and let's go take a bit of an intermission.
Sounds good.
Fever co-hosted this year by Chinook City and Calgary Roller Derby. Of course, we are a WFTDA sanctioned tournament this year, providing a lot of excellent WFTDA sanctioned games, as well as the one we're watching right now, which is a mixed gender game between the Natural Born Thrillers with a score of 122, the Crude Assassins with a score of 48. My name, Fat Boy, joined alongside here with
Jazzernaut.
as we are headed into the second half of what has been a very fun game so far. And let's talk statistics for a quick second here. Let's start with the Natural Born Thrillers. Sparkette, clear leader of the team right now with 40 scored points after 6 jams, right now with a 67% lead percentage. And right now their highest jam for both themselves and the team at 17 points. Moving over to the Crude Assassins now. Rotten Broughton, the highest scored jammer there with 21 points after 8 jams, 25% lead. And their highest jam for both herself and the team at 16 points. Looking team-wise, Natural Born Thrillers with 68% lead, and the Crude Assassins with 28% lead. That's a 10 lead difference, 7 leads for the Assassins, 17 for the Thrillers. As we continue on with this second half.
So it might be interesting to note that our lead scorer for the, where are we? The Crude Assassins, Rotten Broughton, who scored 16 points in Jam 21, is also a part of our announcing team.
Of course, everybody here playing a little bit of double duty this weekend. We got players all over the place doing all kinds of things, and it's definitely a fun and busy weekend. So we talked a little earlier, we did have a foul out in one of yesterday's games. That was Side Dish, who we've seen has had a couple penalties this far in this first half. Let's take a look at our penalties now. So looking at the penalty board for the Natural Born Thrillers, not seeing anybody in critical danger yet, most with only 1 penalty, Sparkette with 2. Otherwise, they're playing a very clean game, which, of course, that's what we want to see. now headed over. Let's take a look to our Crude Assassins. The Herminator right now out in front with 3 points. Everybody else sitting at 1, 2 points, not looking too terribly bad.
I think we should call those penalties.
Penalties. Sorry, penalties.
Yeah, they want points. They don't want penalties.
Penalties, why am I calling them points? Of course, penalties.
It's because we're looking to get started and we're looking to score some points
Yes,
now.
exactly that we are. And while we're talking Side Dish, who did foul out yesterday right now, only with 2 penalties, so still playing more than safe as we're set to start. Now, we did have some excitement at the end of the last jam. Sparkette was issued a cut track penalty. That means they're going to be forced to go to the penalty box. Let's Get Lizakill is going to take the track, but a little bit of fun and excitement there as they try and get a cut track on Let's Get Lizakill right off the get-go. Let's Get Lizakill is going to get through, and Sparkette is back on the track.
And Sparkette is through on the outside line, completing his initial pass.
That was AK Demented that was trying to make it difficult for Sparkette, who did get the little bit of a hip check, but not quite able to stop them. 3 points scored for Let's Get Lizakill on that one. Sparkette not able to grab any.
So we also have an interesting stat here. We have the Natural Born Thrillers were held scoreless for 3 jams in the first half, and the Crude Assassins were held scoreless for 15 jams.
All right, here we go now. Big scrum. Rotten Broughton wearing the star for the black jerseyed Crude Assassins, as it's Justice Bastercrash for the white jerseys Natural Born Thrillers. Oh, down goes big time there to Peacemaker. So Rotten Broughton out in front, takes lead. Down goes a tumble, couple bodies hit the floor pretty hard. Looks like that was Zombie that took a hard tumble there on that outside line between took a hard tumble on that outside line there between corners 2 and 3. And that one's going to end up 4 points scored for Rotten Broughton. Justice Bastercrash not able to grab any. There we go. Wolfblade Jr. set up now, going up against Side Dish.
Wolfblade Jr. pushing his way around the back of the pack and sneaks through on the inside line with Side Dish right behind him. Wolfblade's going to see what he can do to get a few points here. He's got 4 and he's going to call it off. Side Dish managed to pull 2 points out of that jam. And that has brought our Natural Born Thrillers to 126 and our Crude Assassins to 57. We have Let's Get Lizakill going up against Van Awesome. Both jammers hitting up against those solid tripods from the opposing teams. Van Awesome was knocked out of bounds. He quickly jumps back in and continues the fight.
AK Demented with that big hit there on Van Awesome. AK then did a little bit of a hop there to get back into the play from the inside line. Worked well, but Van Awesome is going to get up and through. That's going to give the Natural Born Thrillers that lead jam. Natural Born Thrillers had an 8 lead streak in the first half, and in their second bout against the SRDL, they maintained 100% lead in their second half. A very impressive statistic to keep up. So 4 points are going to be awarded to Van Awesome on that pass. Crude Assassins, Let's Get Lizakill, not able to grab any, as that one's going to get called to completion. 1-3-0 now for the Natural Born Thrillers, 5-7 for the Crude Assassins, as we're just coming up to the 5-minute mark countdown here. 25 minutes remaining as we move into this fifth jam. Rotten Broughton once more lined up. Rice ball as well now for the Thrillers as they continue around. Big spill there in corner one. One of the Assassins blockers went for a good tumble. Rice ball out in front with lead. Making their way back into the back of that second corner. Dragged back. Rotten Broughton going to get in, looking to get through. Takes a bit of a shove there. Rice ball, I didn't even see where he went through, but skated almost untouched, I'm going to assume. Rotten Broughton getting stuck there by Rippin' Ruby, Dodger Balls, Nail Bender, as well as Peacemaker. And Dodger Balls and Rotten Broughton giving each other a high five there on a good jam and a hard effort done there. Rice Ball's going to score 8 points total on that one. Crude Assassins, Rotten Broughton is going to get 4 before that one was whistled to an end. 138-61 now. And our high scorer from the first half for the Thrillers, Sparkette, lined up against Doug Drillmore.
And both jammers hit the pack fairly quickly. Sparkette comes out with lead jam with Doug Drillmore right behind him. Sparkette says, no, we're just going to call this off right now.
Sparkette, this being their 8th jam, will pull away with lead. That's going to be their 5th lead, 63%. Sparkette is doing very well in this category today of making sure that they are the first one out and getting that lead status, a absolutely indispensable tool to have as a team. Of course, the Crude Assassins right now would like to have it a little more so they can start controlling the scoring run, but the Natural Born Thrillers aren't too inclined to give that to them. Jamming now for the first time in this game, the Herminator going up against Wolfblade Jr. Pack starting right on that jam line. Herminator looks for some space on the outside, tries to get some help around number 2-0, that's Super Wench. But Wolfblade is going to find the room first out in front. Herminator is going to find a little bit of space, getting chased down by Dodger Balls, who's forced to give that up and reform back to the pack. Wolfblade rolls into that back there, gets through that tripod. They didn't have any time to set up for that attack as AK Demented's a little shoot motion there as rolls through Wolfblade, grabbing those 4 points. Rotten Broughton, a very busy lady today. Rice ball lined up as well. All right, here we go. Rotten Broughton working to the inside. Gets some help from side dish blocking, but looking to the inside there. Rice ball able to get through first. Rotten Broughton's going to get some space through as well. Pack with a lot of speed coming into that third corner. Lots of jostling there. Rippin' Ruby and number 2 there, Misconstrued, having a battle just between the two of them. Rice ball is going to get some speed and roll through with 4. Rotten Broughton with 0. Jam is called to a conclusion. 4 more points picked up by the Natural Born Thrillers. So far in this first half, no high-scoring jams in any way. 8 being the highest by Rice ball. Only 4 jams ago. Otherwise, 4 being the amount of points scored. And Natural Born Thrillers maintaining that lead over the last 6 jams. And make it 7 as Sparkette is going to get through first.
Killer Bee is going up against quite a few blocks there. She manages to get out of her initial pass and is coming up to the back of the pack.
Killer Bees first time with the star of this game. AK Demanded chasing down Sparkette as they come around and through that fourth corner. But again, forced to give it up and reform back to that pack. As you can see, a lot of high fives. Everybody really excited with that jam. Natural Born Thrillers are going to score 4 off that one from the help of Sparkette and the blocking crew there. Crude Assassins are not going to be able to grab any from Killer B. Once more, 4 points. That's going to bring 150 now for the Thrillers, 61 to the Crude Assassins, as we head into Wolfblade Jr. and Doug Drillmore. Ooh, jammer action right off the stop. She's Hell goes down, trying to knock down Wolfblade, who gets through first, but no pass. So not lead. Second out of the pack this time. Doug Drillmore, who's going to take lead, uses it to his advantage to call it off before Wolfblade can get back up to the pack and grab any points. So Jazz, for those at home that are wondering why exactly Wolfblade didn't get that lead jammer, how exactly does that work?
Well, that happens. One of the blockers from the opposing team actually hit him out of bounds, but fell themselves. And because they were on the ground when Wolfblade came back in, it means they were out of play. So he doesn't get their point. If you don't complete all the points, you don't get the lead jam.
And of course, you have to pass a player inbounds and uprights hips to score that point on your pass. So, Natural Born Thrillers, Nailbender, first time jamming this game, going to take that lead, regaining their streak as they did go, I believe it was 7 jams in a row with lead. Yeah, 7 jams in a row with lead. Doug Drillmore taking that away from them in the last one, but as I said, Nailbender takes it back, going around in this 36th jam of the game, 11th of the half. Nailbender knocked out by that block of formidable black blockers. Dev Null gets in there to break him up enough for Nailbender to get through and call it off after grabbing 4 points. Rotten Broughton with a solid effort there, but unable to come up with any. Stuck in that white blocker wall. That lineup, Ripon Ruby, Dev Null, Mr. Blue, Rice Ball, have been very, very difficult on Rotten Broughton.
They have been. They are a very seasoned line. They know what they're doing. They know how to move. They're great blockers. They work together amazingly. Now we have Dodger Balls going up against She's Hell. Let's see. We've got, I'm not sure who they're pointing at. Who's got lead jam here?
She's Hell.
She's Hell.
She's Hell was awarded lead jam. Bodies hit the floor as they come around the corner 3. Dodger Balls is going to get out in front. She's Hell leans into Justice Bastard Crash. Superfan up there to give her hand as well, but forced to let go with the no pack. 4 points grabbed.
That was a beautiful pinch by Honey Smacks to allow the jammer through smoothly to gain another 4 points before the jam was called off. That brings the Natural Born Thrillers to 158 and the Crude Assassins to 65 with just over 17 minutes left of this period's playtime.
That is the first scored point for the Crude Assassins in 6 jams.
Wow, I guess that's definitely a tribute to the blocking wall of the Natural Born Thrillers.
Yeah, the Natural Born Thrillers have really been putting up a defensive front there, and all of their blockers are so well adapted to getting into the right spot at the right time, and again, not going for any of those big monster hits and sacrificing that strategic play.
I think they're doing a great job of containing rather than the big hits. The big hits, you give that jammer an opportunity to reset, come in at the back, take a breath. If you're holding them, you are holding them, and they don't have a chance to reset and, score points.
And we have seen it this weekend where, a blocker goes in for that big hit, leaves that position of theirs, and gets completely juked out by that jammer, who then has a wide open hole to burn through. As Doug Drillmore and Sparkette lined up now to take this 13th jam.
Oh, and Sparkette jumps or tumbles over his own teammate. Runs through, still gets lead jam. That was interesting. I love Sparkette.
Yeah, and the crowd does too, as everybody gets super excited after that play. Sparkette
gets through and calls it off, gets his 4 points. There is something to be said about Sparkette and that super crawl he does.
They never skate, ever.
No.
They run. Sparkette runs.
Yes,
on their
Sparkette
on their
runs.
toes, they run. I can't skate on 4 wheels, let alone run on toe stops. Are you kidding me?
Sparkette is really good at running on toe stops, definitely. And we have Wolfblade here going up against Rotten Broughton. Rotten Broughton has got lead jam, and Wolfblade Jr. has gone through on the outside line and is looking to get right on Rotten Broughton's tail. Rotten Broughton comes through on the inside line and calls it off before Wolfblade Jr. can catch up to the pack.
So 4 points there, right for Rotten Broughton. Calls that one down. As we set up for our next jam. Who do we got here? Ooh, first time jamming on the game. That is Superfan. Side dish for the Crude Assassins as there's, whoa. 3/4 of the pack just went down. Everybody taking their time, making sure they're up. Rice Ball at the very bottom of that doggy pile.
Yeah, get up slow, make sure you're all right, make sure the person under you is all right, and looks like Rice Ball is going to get a penalty for that mess that was out there.
Of course, in the sport of roller derby, safety being paramount, go by the term of fall small. Have to make sure that you're always in control, even when you're falling. Don't sprawl and spread. Make sure you make as minimal of an impact as you can. Superfan pushing hard, gets past, and completes their initial pass. Pretty excited with a little bit of a show of emotion there. Rice Ball back on the track here. Superfan looking to get through. There's people kind of rolling all over the place as there's some white blockers bouncing around.
Oh, and it looks like we have a cut track call on Superfan. So this is now turned into a power jam for Side Dish.
Also means we're going to finish out the 2-minute jam here. 30 seconds remaining as we do not have a lead jammer anymore. Side Dish working to get through, looking for some help. Offensive maneuvers now from the blocker. Side Dish able to find that inside line as Dodger Balls and Zombie go up to try and stop him. Unable to. Resetting now. Looking for a little bit of help from She's Hell. Two minutes is up. 3 points grabbed for the Natural Born Thrillers. Whoa, 1 point grabbed by Side Dish on that one. So 5 total there. Natural Born Thrillers with 3. Okay, Van Awesome lined up. Wearing the star for the white jerseyed Thrillers, black jerseyed Crude Assassins, out there with number 3-3, Hot Start, jamming for the first time this game. Van Awesome gets through first. Ooh, that was fun.
We have a Hot Start get knocked out on the outside line and is being brought back by Dev Null, number 52.
Down goes 7-1-0 in white. Peacemaker as they took the brunt of a hit. Van Awesome rolls around the track, grabs 4 points as he makes his way back into that first corner. Hot start, struggling to get past that white blocker wall that we've talked about. Finally gets through for their initial pass. Little shaky on the skates as they come around that fourth corner. Van Awesome is going to pass Hot start, rolling around after he grabbed his second set of 4 points. Number 2 misconstrued right there to meet Van Awesome as they hit that pack. Going to give Van Awesome the 1 point. And Hot start unable to grab any there. So 9 grabbed by Natural Born Thrillers, 174. Crude Assassin 74, now with a 100-point difference.
And we're going to see Let's Get Lizkill up against Wolfblade Jr. again. I think we've seen this matchup a couple times.
We have, and these jammers have both been busy. Wolfblade with 11 jams. Let's Get Lizkill, with 8 jams.
Look at that lateral movement. Both jammers side to side until a hole opens up, and then they take advantage of it.
Wolfblade Jr. going to get through and grab that lead status as Let's Get Lizkill still fighting their way through that pack. Able to get through. Rip and Ruby going to chase her down first, though. Wolfblade's going to grab 4 more points to add to his tally. Pack rolling a little quicker here into the fourth corner. Rotten Broughton out there with the pivot stripe, doing a little bit of defensive work, working hard. Wolfblade calls that one off before either jammer can make it back into the pack and score any points on that pass.
We have some high fives going on between Doug Drillmore and Riceball that are going to face off on the line in the next jam.
Doug Drillmore takes the long start from the third corner, finds that outside line with a little bit of a jersey whip around, and takes a very quick lead. Riceball, however, able to bludgeon their way through and complete their initial. Riceball with so much speed on this slippery floor. Doug Drillmore with a little bit of a turnaround backwards out of that pack.
That takes talent with the slick, glass-like the texture of this floor this weekend. That takes some skill.
Riceball once more with a big smile on his face as looks like he might be chirping a little bit at Doug Drillmore. Riceball's going to find the inside line after absolutely smoking number 2 there. That would have been misconstrued. Both jammers able with 4 points before that one is concluded, so 8 total either side. So with that now, a 104-point differential, 186 to 82. Thrillers in the lead as we get a timeout charged to the Crude Assassins. And of course, we can't thank enough all of our wonderful sponsors and officials, NSOs, of course. This game right now, Crude Assassins versus the Natural Born Thrillers, being reffed by the Crew Flatbread. Of course, we want to say a big thanks to them. Our crew head ref, Landon, inside pack ref, Bay, jam refs, Squid, and Judge. And our outside pack refs, Busty, Carmen, and Intervener. Of course, we also want to say a huge thank you to all of our NSOs in this game and all our games this weekend. We really can't do it without everybody's help and assistance, as Derby just doesn't run on unicorn farts and wonderful sunny days.
No, it doesn't. And for those of you wondering, NSO stands for our non-skating officials. Did you know by age 14, girls are dropping out of sports at twice the rate of boys? Girls on Track want to change that stat. Learn more about expanding access to roller derby for girls in their teens at girlsontrackfoundation.org.
And I'm aware that Alberta has a very good juniors program helping to bring up a lot of very talented skaters. So by the time that they hit the senior ranked teams, we'll call them, they are well versed and very well prepared for that level of play. So Van Awesome and Side Dish jamming now. Superfan going to bring back Side Dish. Van Awesome is going to get out ahead on an inside space. Penalty issued. AK Demented headed to the penalty box. That means that the Crude Assassins are losing their pivot. Van Awesome with I'm not sure if it was an apex jump or just a really long step there, but effective enough to get through and grab himself 4 points, as we see Superfan, Dev Null, Sparkette, and I think that's Peacemaker out there all set up, blocking for the Thrillers.
Yeah, they're bringing Side Dish back, hitting him out, bringing him back, and recycling him into that pack.
4 more points grabbed for Van Awesome, as we see Super Wench out there working alongside with Killer B. AK Demented back on the track, all working hard to try and stop Van Awesome, who's still able to get through and grab another 4. Side Dish struggling to get past Superfan now, as that white set of blockers is not making this easy in any way, shape, or form.
Side Dish is going to the box for a cut track. And apparently maybe that penalty was called back and he's allowed back on the track.
So I'm wondering if maybe our jammers got a little switched here, because we did just have Van Awesome head to the penalty box, as Side Dish was told to return back to the track before serving any time. So I'm, again, just an assumption that there was a little bit of confusion. So no lead there at the end of that jam, full 2 minutes. Wow, that was very confusing end to that jam, as we see a 14-point pickup now for the Natural Born Thrillers. Side Dish unfortunately not able to grab any during that jam. That brings us to the double century mark, 200 for the Natural Born Thrillers, 82 for the Crude Assassins. But to the advantage now of the Crude Assassins, it will be a power start. Rotten Broughton lined up to take it.
We can see Rotten Broughton's blockers just all lined up, ready to hopefully clear a path for her.
As they set up to pinch from the inside to the outside, Rotten Broughton's going to find a little bit of space, as Wolfblade is pinched there by Misconstrued. One jammer that looked like Nailbender just trying to get in the way of Rotten Broughton, who is still able to get through. So that gives Rotten Broughton the lead. Penalties issued to at least one white blocker. Rotten Broughton's going to use this to her advantage and get through and grab the 4th point, as Van Awesome still sitting in the penalty box. Rotten Broughton with a quick little stop and go move makes a nice juke around and grabs another 4 points. This right here is exactly what the Crude Assassins are waiting for, as Van Awesome is now standing in the penalty box. Rotten Broughton going to try and grab at least another point or 2 before this one comes to a conclusion. 4 more picked up for Rotten Broughton. Van Awesome on the track. Crude Assassins losing a blocker to the penalty box. That's going to be Baywop sitting down for a little while. Van Awesome knocked to the inside of the track, forced to restart. Lots of pushing and shoving in the pack here as everybody's trying to get through. Van Awesome trying to get by Misconstrued. Hot start. And the Herminator, as Rotten Broughton gets through for another 4 points on the inside. So far, that's a 16-point jam for the Crude Assassins, as Rotten Broughton is really bringing the heat. This is the highest scoring jam of this half, and most certainly the highest scoring jam of this half as well by far for the Crude Assassins, who at most have only scored 8 before this by Doug Drillmore. Rotten Broughton's going to get into the pack and call that one off, but not before able to grab at least one more. Van Awesome held at 0. That was absolutely incredible. Rotten Broughton really bringing that that heat there. That is exactly what the Crude Assassins needed.
Yeah, she ran that jam as long as she could to gain as much points as she can and take advantage of that power jam.
That was definitely a very, very good jam.
So we see Justice Bastercrash going against Doug Drillmore, and Doug Drillmore gets through the pack first, establishes lead jammer status. And Justice Bastercrash has passed it off, so the star is now on Rice Ball. Doug Drillmore has made it through the pack and put another 4 points in his pocket, while Rice Ball has made it through as well on a scoring pass. And Doug Drillmore scores his 4 points and calls it off before Rice Ball can enter into the pack to score any points on his own. And that brings our score to 204 for the Natural Born Thrillers. And the Crude Assassins are at 107 with gaining 8 points that jam.
Been a very interesting second half. After the 34th jam of the game, the Thrillers were holding on to that lead jam pretty consistently. Now it's much more separated. Not much more than 2 jams held at one time here with lead. It's really going back and forth in the second half, which we didn't see a lot in the first half. The Thrillers dominated on that lead percentage. Right now, sitting in that second half, in the first half, 68% lead for the Thrillers and 28 for the Assassins. This time now, 38 for the Assassins, 52 only for the Natural Born Thrillers, as a penalty issued to the jammer of the Assassins. That is going to give Dodger Balls the power jam. An unfortunate, that's misconstrued jamming for the Crude Assassins. First jam on the game today and suffering that penalty as Dodger Balls makes it through and grabs 4 on the power. Misconstrued, standing in the penalty box, gets the release, starts heading back to the track. Dodger Balls, AK Demented holding him in place. Herminator comes in to give Dodger Balls a tap and an assist with AK Demented, but still able to get through, grab those 4 points, and then calls that one down.
So the Natural Born Thrillers were able to put 8 points on the board for that jam, putting them at 212, and the Crude Assassins were held at 0, remaining at 107. With just over a minute of play left in this half.
So the timeout issued to the Crude Assassins as we come towards the conclusion of this game. What a very good game it is. And of course, no one else can say they've been advancing roller skating for 70 years. Rydell Skates, you'll love how your Rydells feel. RydellSkates.com. We also want to make sure we thank, again, once more, our NSOs, our officials, our production crew, myself, Fat Boy, joined here alongside with Jazzernaut, our in-house announcer, Sonia Blade, our production producer right now, Death Nella, of course, all of our camera personnel, our photographers, we have a lot of people.
There's so many people to thank. There is so many people that put a lot of effort into making a event like this as successful as it is, right down to the people who were sweeping the floor this morning. When I came in at 7:45 this morning, there was some people sweeping.
Of course, we also want to make sure we say a big thank you to our paramedics here on staff this weekend, our wonderful volunteer first aiders who have been essential in ensuring the safety and comfort of downed and injured skaters. We've been very fortunate. I don't think we've had any very severe incidents this weekend. We have had a few good hits and bumps and bruises, but nothing broken to my knowledge, so we're always thankful for that.
Yeah, nothing broken. A few head bumps, I think, which is very important. They usually definitely watch us close when we get a head injury.
Again, as if the sport itself and the contact wasn't hard enough, they are not landing on a nice, soft, downstairs carpeted floor. This is solid concrete floor under what should have been a curling rink. As Nailbender's going to take that slippery concrete floor out for a run and take lead. Rotten Broughton not quite a quarter track away. Pack with a little bit of speed coming around that fourth corner. Dev Null knocks She's Hell out of the way, gives Nailbender a good chance. Nailbender with some really good offense there from 84, Justice Bastard Crash, and getting some help from, I'm not sure who the other blocker there was, but either way, very good offensive.
Yeah, definitely a situation of work smarter, not harder there. The blockers and jammers were really working well together. Jammers were being patient, waiting for the pinches. It was a beautiful thing to watch.
Now jamming for the first time this game, and let's call it the last jam likely of the game. AK Demented wearing the star, going up against Wolfblade Jr. As all the players on the track are giving each other congratulations and high five and the cordial jostling. There is no sport quite like roller derby out there with the camaraderie and teamwork on the track. And a little fun fact for you, blocker Schemo for the Crude Assassins will be coaching the rated PG North Star from Prince George, BC, who are playing in our WFTDA tournament this weekend. AK Demented dragged out and back by Mr. Blue. Wolfblade Jr. out in front and first for the lead. AK knocked to the inside. Mr. Blue again dragging back to the beginning of that first corner. Wolfblade looking for a little bit of space. Oh, taken out at the end of that corner and forced to reset. Oh, and unfortunately for AK Demented, first jam of the night, takes the forearm penalty and heads to the penalty box. As Wolfblade is going to grab 4 more points. Wolfblade sets up to come through. Gets a little bit of offensive help. Mr. Blue in the way, Rippin' Ruby. Rice Ball and 94, that is Honey Smacks. Crowd cheering, everybody excited. AK Demented back on the track. Oh, in goes Rice Ball. Couple people fall over. AK Demented gets through, chases by Rice Ball, gets oh, so close. Knocked to the inside. Looks at the ref. Gets the call she was really hoping for. The no pass, not a cut. So able to continue through, completing the initial. Wolfblade rolls through one more time. Gets past Baywop for another 4 points. And AK Demented gets through. Grabs her first 4 points of the game. Wolfblade into the pack once more, looking to see if he can score any more. Down goes Hot Start. Wolfblade rolls through the corner. AK Demented on the inside line. Rolls through, gets 4 more points just as the whistle blows for the end of that game.
That was an amazing finish.
That was an absolutely great finish.
And Wolfblade is celebrating, hands in the air, big grin on his face.
So that jam ended up being a full 2-minute jam as it came to a conclusion. Score right now as we wait for the final and official score. What a wonderful game to watch. That was a lot of fun.
That was really great. I had so much fun just watching them have so much fun. Not only was the strategy great, the gameplay great, the hits big, those smiles and the laughter and the high fives that go on between the two teams make it that much more enjoyable.
One thing I've always enjoyed with the mixed gender games, well, of course, everybody wants to go for the win. They're not jockeying for ranking positions. They're not out there looking to try and be the next, top team. They're out there to have a good time, to play some really good, fun derby. And you see that in games like this.
You do, and it's something to be admired when not only your own team, but the team you're playing against is really there to pump you up and encourage you and fill you with camaraderie and sportsmanship and just a general overall great feeling.
So with that, now we're going to call the game. Final score 236. Natural Born Thrillers are your victors. Crude Assassins with 115. Of course, thank you very much for tuning into this 8th annual Flat Track Fever, a WFTDA sanctioned event this year, co-hosted by both Calgary and Chinook City. Once more, thank you very much. My name is Fat Boy. Jazz are not joining me alongside, and we will talk to you again a little later.